7 Days to Die, Alpha 11. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words. Building on survivalist and horror themes, players in 7 Days to Die can scavenge the abandoned cities of the buildable and destructible voxel world for supplies, or explore the wilderness to gather raw materials to build their own tools, weapons, traps, fortifications and shelters. This is a revisited. This is my third look back on 7 Days to Die, and the reason I give this game so much time is because it is without a shadow of a doubt the best survival game that's ever been made, in my opinion. And it just seems to get better and better and better. It's switched over to the Unity 5 engine, which makes it look absolutely gorgeous. There are a couple of graphical glitches, such as a mesh appears over the trees in a distance in certain biomes, but obviously that's going to get fixed because it doesn't do that in other biomes. It just looks gorgeous now. It's just had a really big update. It's the biggest update patch that this game's had. It's had so much new content added that I can't possibly mention it all. There's hundreds, so I'm going to mention the biggies. 2 new zombies have been added. There's a feral zombie and a fire zombie. Both are nasty. There's 2 new weapons. There's a blunderbuss and a standard ordinary bow. I'm not too keen on the new aiming of the new bows. When you go to the kind of the iron sight mode, when you put it up to your face to zoom in, you lose the crosshair, which is a bit of a shame. And it's the same on the crossbow as well. So I don't particularly like that, but most of the patch I do like. It's just made this game so much better. The hordes have changed as well. They're a bit more intelligent. The pathfinding's been upped, although there is a bug on porches where they just kind of spin round and round. What I really like about this game is the developers. The developers of this game have stood by it. I mean, this game came out in 2013 and they've stood by it, just releasing update after update after update. You see, a lot of early access games come on Steam and there's an influx of sales. And what happens after that is the developers see the sales dry up over the period of 2 or 3 months, and then they're sitting there and think, alright, there's not many people buying our game now, and we've got a shitload of work to do. And you know what they do? They just don't do the work, or they'll release a little patch now and then, or even in some cases release one big patch and say, there you go, it's finished. It's disgusting, but they haven't done that with 7 Days to Die. They got a massive influx of sales, but then they just kept going. Even when sales dropped right down, they still kept going. They had faith in their product and they just kept going. And it's like having sex. It's like, you know, the young kids when they first have sex, it's like, wow, this is good. Psst, splurt. This is a bad analogy. No, keep going. It's a good analogy. Just bear with us. And they can't, you know, the premature ejaculation. They just have, it just, yeah, happens, doesn't it? But when you get older and experienced, you learn to ride it. You can just ride it, and all the sales is coming in and you're saying, yeah, that's fine, and then the sales dry off and it goes away, but you just keep going and you just say, hey man, I can do it, I've still got plenty of time left, and they just keep going. Mac, why are you rocking up and down in your chair? That's the actions, you've got to do it. It's to get it, just bear with us, and then you just keep going and going and going and going, and then you just make it better and better, then it just gets better and better, and your customer thinks that you're the best thing in the world because it's just, you're keeping going and you're giving them pleasure all the time, and then you just get faster and faster as you get back. That's terrible. But then eventually you just go bam, and then it's released and it's a much better experience. I'll move on. The game itself is fantastic to play. It really, really is. There's cave systems being added. You might be walking along and you'll find a cave. You go down this like big tunnel and then it opens up into this really, really maze-like cave. But in these caves are feral zombies, so you have to be very careful. But there's a lot of minerals to be had in the caves as well. So what are feral zombies? Well, there's 2 types of zombie really in this game. There's a lot of classes of zombie. There's spider zombies, there's the flame zombies and all the rest of it, but the feral zombies are very, very aggressive. I mean, all of them are aggressive if they see you, but feral zombies can see you when they just know where the hell you are. For example, every 7th day there will be a feral horde. Sorry, there is a chance that there's going to be a feral horde. So you might have your little village, and we are building a little village in my community on my server. There's about, I don't know, 10 or 15 of us all building. You can see here our little houses and things. And every night or every day there's a chance that there's a horde of zombies just might pass through like they would in real life. And if you watch, there's no zombies in real life, Mackie Brick, but if you watch The Walking Dead, you'll see these hordes of zombies. And a non-feral horde, if you hear them coming or somebody spots them and says there's a horde incoming, if you stay in your house and keep quiet, they'll pass. They won't know you're there unless you've got like raw meat out or something like that. Then they can sense the meat and then they'll get a bit of a bloodlust and start breaking down your door. But a feral zombie, a horde of feral zombies, are totally different. They know where you are. They're more intelligent. And if you're hiding in your house, it doesn't make any difference. They know you're in there and they will rip your house to shreds to get you. And if your house is not fortified well, if you don't have an escape route out, you are screwed. It's worse if they come at night, because at night they turn into World War Z zombies or World War Z zombies. They run. It's a server setting, so through the day they shamble, and they shamble so realistically, but at night time they run. And if you are caught out after dark, you are fucked royally. So it's such a great game for co-op. It's not like Rust and DayZ where it encourages PvP, although PvP is on. But this, for some reason, when I'm playing this game, I don't feel like I want to go and kill people. I feel like I want to survive, and surviving is hard. But then there's the crafting. It has such an in-depth, and it's just been upgraded in Alpha 11. They've took away a lot of the menial little shitty things. For example, you used to have to get a few blades of grass together to make some plant fibers. Now you just hit one blade of grass and you get a plant fiber out of it. So it's a lot better, the crafting. It's very deep. You can build all kinds of stuff: weapons, traps, guns. You can build houses, any house you want, anywhere. You've got lots of different types of building blocks to build some really nice looking houses. You can have furniture in your house. You can do what you want. You can mine. The whole land is entirely mineable. You can just dig a hole anywhere you like, dig a cave anywhere you want. You can live underground. You can make a hobbit house. You can just do whatever you want. Imagine Minecraft. It's got all of that. Also in the crafting, you don't have access to everything straight away. You have to learn recipes from books that you find randomly in different buildings. There are certain guns that you can find in gun crates, but when you're looting, certain areas take longer to loot, so you might have a 3-minute wait while you open a cabinet because you're picking the lock, and a zombie could be coming behind you. It's so terrifying, this game. You're constantly getting the shit scared out of you as you're going around, and the night time looks so eerie and spooky. It's really, really well done. It really, really is. They've added a leveling up system, so now you level up in the game as you do certain things, as you kill zombies, as you craft, as you eat, as you drink, you level up, and this allows you to create better quality equipment. So all the equipment is now graded. So for example, as a low leveler, if you make an axe, it'll be shit. But as you level up, if you are a high level and you make an axe, it'll be really good. And the difference is the durability of it. Same with armor that you make. There's a full armor system in this, and as you craft the armor, the higher level you are, the better quality the armor. So all that's in this game as well. Another massive change that's happened to this game is the food and drink. At last, a game that has more realistic food and drink. I mean, you know how I mentioned in Savage Lands how as you walk around, and this is the same for every survival game, and it was for 7 days, that after a few minutes walking around in the game you need to eat and drink again, and it's bullshit. But in 7 days they've really fixed that. The food and drink goes down really slowly, so you don't have to constantly be eating and drinking to stay alive. It is so much better. I think it could go a little bit further, but it is a massive improvement of any other survival game that I've played. It's certainly the closest to reality in any other game that I've actually played. So that's a great plus. On that side of things, there is another downer though. If you die, your stamina and health bars are brought shorter when you respawn, and that is a bit of a problem because I think they've overdone it. I died a few times in a massive feral horde attack, and now I'm pretty much gimped because I've only got a very small stamina and health bar, and the problem with that is you need stamina to mine to do anything in the game really. So I'm pretty gimped at doing things. I think there should be an easier way of increasing your stamina bar. That's a bit of a shame. I'm sure they'll fix that because it is, unless there's something I don't know, but I have kept my food up and I've had vitamin pills and all kinds of stuff, and it's going up so slowly that it's going to take weeks of real time before it goes back up to the levels that it was before I died. So that's a bit of an annoyance, and I hope they fix that, because it doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, it feels far too severe a punishment for dying. Also, when you die, you can respawn near where your sleeping bag was, or on your sleeping bag. It's one of the best games ever made. This, you have to play this to see it. It's absolutely phenomenal, and the best thing is it's still in alpha. It's not even in beta yet. The developers aren't even happy yet. I mean, this puts the AAA games to fucking shame. These developers, they're not money grabbers, they are proper gamers, and they've made a game that not only looks beautiful but plays beautiful, and it just seems to get better and better and better. It's got bugs. I've already mentioned the tree mesh is a bit bad. There's porches seem to confuse zombies. I've seen them going round and round on porches. Sometimes food disappears out the fire. There's little things like that. There's nothing really game breaking, although I'm not happy with the sights on the zoom in on the crossbow. Now, maybe I'll get used to it, maybe I won't, I don't know. We'll just see where that goes. The only annoying thing is the dogs. There's these dogs that come, and they always seem a bit hard to hit. They're a bit erratic the way they run. I've never been happy with the dogs. I think they kind of spoil it. I'd like to see something a bit better than a dog. Maybe it's a bit bigger, a little bit slower. But the dogs, they're just kind of, they're too hard to hit, and they're too fast. So that's, and I think the zombies sprint a bit too fast as well. I'm not sure. There's just little bits and bobs. It needs tweaking. That's all it does. It just needs little bits of tweaks here and there. But it's a great game, and one of the best games ever made, and it's available on the PC. 7 Days to Die. It is definitely worth a buy.